Hello everyone, my name is Shannon Duffy. I'm here with the OHSU REDCap team. This video is one of our tips and tricks series. This video specifically is how to use action tags. The material covered in this video will be what are action tags, what skills you need to already know in REDCap to use action tags, the best practices we recommend to be successful with action tags, and then I've also prepared a ton of cool demos of action tags working in a project to show you. What are action tags? They're special functions that begin with an @ sign that are placed in your field's field annotation box, which I will show how to set up. And each tag has a corresponding action with them. Some core functionality you need to understand to use action tags are how to create a field, how to use variable names, and then also how to use raw values. The best practices we recommend for action tags are testing during the development stage of your project by entering data, so either in your data entry or taking it as a survey to make sure everything's working. And then reading the documentation that REDCap has already provided. For the sake of time, I'm only going over the most popular action tags, but REDCap has done a great job of creating a ton of documentation on every action tag that's available to you. Well, let's jump into REDCap. So to insert an action tag into a field, I've set up just a simple date field here in a project. So what you would do is go to Edit, and then you'll see this red box and this red button here. And you will click the red button, and this is that documentation I just talked about of all the action tags. So as you can see, there's a paragraph on how to use that action tag, what it does, and even some more examples of different things you can use it for. But say I would want to use the today action tag, which I will go into more depth, get into more in depth in just a bit. All you do is hit add and then close, and as you can see, it's typed it in there for you. And then I will hit save. And in the online designer, any field that has an action tag, it'll show that exact action tag here in hot pink under the field. Well, let's jump into some live demos. So let's talk about the one I just demoed and how to put it in. I use the today action tag. And what this will do will automatically load the user's date into a blank text field. So the today, and you can also use today's server. There's a slight difference between both of them. The today tag is for the participant's time and date, and it pulls it from their device or machine that they're using. But the today server is for the time and date on our REDCap server machine. And as you can see, I've already put it in here. And then the demo would be right here for the what's today's date that you're filling out this form. As you can see, today's date is already put in there for the user, but you can still click the little calendar to select a date if need be. Next is the none of the above action tag. This action tag is for checkboxes only, and you can designate one choice in your list for none of the other checkboxes to be checked if this one checkbox is checked. So for our demo, if a participant doesn't identify with any of the race and ethnicity options available, they won't be able to check an option and I don't identify at the same time. So to set that up, what we have is the none of the above action tag corresponding with the 7 raw value, since that is the I don't identify with any of these. And then the demo would be if a person selects one of the race and ethnicities and I don't identify, there's going to be a pop-up that tells the user they can clear the other selections since they've also checked I don't identify with any of these. Next, we have the default action tag. This will set a field's initial value. So when a user is looking at the question, a option will already be selected for them. However, they can choose another one. This is really popular in our eConsent module. For example, if you're using versioning and you've moved on to a new version of your eConsent, your newest version, you can have the default be 2 on the newest version of your eConsent. And as you can see here, it's already selected for the user. Next, we have maxed checked action tag. And this will prevent the user from selecting more than a certain number of boxes in a checkbox question. So for this demo, we have the top 3 worst areas a participant is experiencing pain in. And as you can see, we used max checked equals 3. And then in the demo, if a user selects 3 options but goes to check another, they will get a pop-up saying the maximum of choices has been selected. Next, we have the calc date action tag. This one is where you can calculate the date based on another date. So for example, we have an enrollment date and we want to calculate, well, when should their follow-up visit be for 7 days later? So to set that up, we'll have the calc date based on the question previous, the date of enrollment. We have the number 7, and then we want to do that in days, and the days are in quotes. And like I said, if you ever need help setting that up, there's a ton of great documentation here on the calc date of how to set that up if you want to use months or even years or something like that. And then in the demo here, you can see if we enrolled today, then their follow-up visit should be 7 days after today or on March 3rd. Next, we have the character limit action tag. This will be to limit how many characters can be entered into a text or notes field. For the demo, I have you cannot enter an age in years that's more than 3 characters. So as you can see, we have the character limit action tag set to 3. And I've also put on some validation with an integer for they can only enter between 0 and 100 for their age. This also prevents people entering in letters for an age. And then here in the demo, it'll tell the user, hey, you have 3 characters remaining. So if somebody enters, as you can see, I'm trying to hit 9, like more than 3 9s. That is, it's also first it's preventing me from entering more than 3, and then also since I have that valid range validation between 0 and 100, it's giving me a warning for that as well. And then if you start over, it goes back to 3. Next, we have the inline action tag. This allows a PDF or image file that is uploaded to a file upload field to be displayed inline, so it kind of gives you a preview of what has been uploaded. So the user can have a preview of what they've uploaded just in case to make sure they've uploaded the right thing. And the demo here, I just have some generic client intake form. I'll upload it there, and then as you can see, the PDF preview will be right there for the user to make sure they've uploaded the right thing. Next, we have the hide button action tag. This hides the now or today button that's to the right of a date or date time field. Normally, as you can see, there's this little today button, but the hide button just takes that away. They still can select a date here. And then lastly, we have the hide choice action tag. This will hide one or more choices in any multiple choice field, so like radio, drop down, or checkbox. For example, there's a question that says, which of our providers did you see today? And Dr. Taylor is no longer with the clinic, so we want to take him off of the list, but since this project is already in production, we don't just want to delete that option, since that will create a data loss, so we can use the hide choice tag. Since Dr. Taylor corresponds with choice 3, we have the hide choice set to 3, and then as you can see here, Dr. Taylor is no longer an option, but we didn't create a data loss or anything like that. Then we have some more. If you take a look at the documentation, there's a ton of hidden action tags, and I'll go over the most popular there. Next, we have the hidden survey action tag. This will hide a field on a survey page for the participant, so they cannot see the field, but the study team can still see the field on the data entry form on their end. So for example, we have a study team that wants to quickly calculate a patient's age on their end, but they don't need to show the patient their own age when they're filling out the survey. So they would fill out today's date and the birthday. And then we have the hidden survey action tag. So the date difference calculation to calculate the age in years isn't shown to the participant, but the study team can quickly find out the age of their participants. Next, we have the hidden PDF action tag. This is a great use for if you are letting your participants download a PDF of their survey responses, and you just want to give them the responses. So for example, here, you don't need to give them the instructions of their survey. So we have the hidden PDF action tag on the instruction part of the survey. So the participants can still get a copy of their answers, but they don't need all the instructions or any other descriptive text that you don't think they need in the end. Here we have the hidden form action tag. This will hide a field on the data entry page so the study team can't see it. So basically the opposite of hidden survey. For a demo, the survey participant is getting scored based on answers to their questions, but the study team doesn't need to see a total score. They are just more concerned about individual questions, but still want to provide a total score to the participant. So using the hidden form will hide that from the study team, but is still visible on the survey end. And lastly, we have the hidden action tag. This hides a field on the survey page and the data entry form. So this is great if there is a question that is no longer useful to the study, but since the REDCap project is already in production, you can just use the hidden action tag so you don't have to delete the whole question and maybe result in a data loss, but you can use the hidden action tag And then this whole question is hidden from people taking the survey, or if you're doing data entry, it's also hidden from your data entry team who do not need to use this question anymore. Well, that wraps up our action tag tips and tricks video. Just to recap, you can review any documentation of action tags by anytime hitting the red action tag button. It'll be up here on the top of your online designer, and then also anytime right here in an actual field itself. So thank you so much for watching and have a good day.